I've been putting this off for a long time. Like I've thought about making this video so many times over the past year, and every time I either couldn't start or I just start and stop. I don't really know what to say, and I still don't if I'm being honest. But I think that's kind of the point of this, that it isn't supposed to be a perfect or structured or anything like that. It's just supposed to be me talking. Almost a year ago now, April 12th, 2025, my best friend passed away in a car accident. And even now, saying that out loud, it just feels wrong. Like it doesn't fully register in my mind still. I remember the day when I first found out. It didn't even feel real. It felt like one of those things when you're just waiting for someone to tell you it's not true. Like, nah, you've heard that wrong, or nah, he's okay, or something like that. But that never came. And I think a part of me is still stuck in that moment. Like, mentally, I know what happened, but emotionally, I still feel like I'm waiting for him to text me again. That's the weird thing about losing someone like that. They don't slowly fade out of your life. They're they're just there one day and the next they're gone. No warning, no goodbye, nothing. You don't realize how much someone is part of your daily life until they're not anymore. Like he wasn't just my friend, he was my best friend, the one I talked to about everything, literally everything. And it wasn't just like we were friends, we basically grew up together. High school was a lot of just us. Like, I don't think people understand how much time we actually spent together. It wasn't just school, it was before school, after school, weekends, random days where we had nothing going on but still ended up together somehow. There were so many days where we would just be out for hours doing absolutely nothing, and somehow it was still the best part of the day. Just driving around, walking, wasting time, going places for no reason, laughing at stuff that didn't make sense. Stuff that if you tried to explain it to someone else, they just look at you like, what? But to us, it was everything. And that was the thing about him. He didn't need anything crazy going on to have a good time. He was the good time. He could take the most normal, boring situation and somehow make it into something you'd remember. And if you knew him, you know exactly what I mean. He has that kind of energy where he could just walk into a room and you'd notice it immediately. Not in like an attention seeking way or anything. It was just a natural, like the vibe is shifting a little bit. People would start laughing more, talking more, the vibes would just be better. And he didn't even have to try, that's just who he was. He made people feel comfortable. Like you didn't have to overthink anything around him. Like you just be yourself and not worry about it. And I think that's rare. Like really rare. There were so many moments like that. Late nights, random conversations, inside jokes that made no sense to anyone else. And honestly, some of my favorite memories were just me and him gaming. A few months before everything happened, he finally got a laptop, and I remember how excited he was about it. Because for the longest time, we always talked about playing certain games together, and we couldn't. And then he finally got it, and we started playing stuff like GTA 5, American Truck Simulator. And I don't know, those nights were just different now that I think about it. Like it wasn't even about the games themselves. We'd just be on there for hours, talking, messing around, doing dumb stuff like we always did. But those were some of the most fun moments I've ever had in gaming, like genuinely. It just felt right. And it sucks because I didn't know at the time that those were some of the last moments we'd play together. And if I did, I would have stayed longer. I would have talked more. I would have just appreciated it more. And to be honest, I haven't really even touched those games since. I just really can't. It just doesn't really feel the same without him, and I think about that a lot, just wanting one more gaming session or just one more night of being on, talking about nothing, laughing at stupid stuff. Just one more time. Just being stupid for no reason. And at the time it felt normal, like those days were just gonna keep happening. You don't think about them being important while you're in them, you just live them. But now those are the moments that stick with me the most. The random days, the pointless drives, the times where nothing important was happening, but everything felt right. That's what I go back to. Not just the fact that he's gone, but everything he was when he was here. That's what made him my best friend. Not just that we were close, but how everything felt when he was around. Like no matter what was going on, things were just a little bit better with him there. And that's the part that's hard to explain to people. It's not just missing a person, it's missing the way they made life feel. That's what I miss. Not just my best friend, but the way he made everything feel when he was around. Good days, bad days, random thoughts at 2 a.m. Stuff that didn't even matter. He was just always there. And I think that's what I miss the most. Not even the big moments, just him being here. There's so many little things that remind me of him, and it's always when I'm not expecting it. I'll always see a random clip or hear something or be in the middle of a game. Remember, my first instinct is to send it to him. Like, that hasn't gone away, not even a little bit. I still send him reels sometimes. I don't even think about it. I just do it. And then after I send it, it kind of hits me again. Every single time. And yeah, I know he's not going to see them, but it just feels wrong to stop, you know? Like, stopping feels more real than continuing, and I don't think I'm ready for that. Gaming especially hasn't been the same since. It used to be something we'd always do together, like that was our first thing. We'd get on, mess around, talk about whatever. Sometimes not even focusing on the game at all. Now it's just quiet. Even if I'm playing with other people, it's not the same. There's just something missing. And I don't think people understand unless they've gone through something like that themselves. It's not about losing the person. It's about losing the version of the life that existed with them in it. This past year overall hasn't been too good for me. I'm not going to get into everything, but losing him was already enough to mess me up, and everything else just kind of stacked on top of that. I feel like I didn't really process any of it properly. I just kept going like I had to. Like everything around me was still moving, so I had to move with it. But inside, it didn't feel like that. Inside, it just felt stuck. And I think that's why I'm making this now. Because keeping everything in your head for that long, it just builds up. And it gets heavy. There's a lot of things I wish I could have said to him. Just normal stuff. Like it didn't even need to be some big deep conversation. I'd honestly be just fine hearing him say something dumb again. You know, I miss that. I miss him. And yeah, people say stuff that, yeah, they're in a better place. And I do believe that. I really do. But at the same time, it doesn't really make it hurt less. It just gives you something to hold on to. And I think about all the things we didn't get to do, all the plans that just stopped existing. And that part really sucks because you don't get that closure with something like this. You just have to accept it, and accepting it doesn't mean you're okay with it. It just means you don't have a choice. I feel like losing him changed me in a way I can't really explain. Like, I'm still me, but at the same time, I'm not. It's like a part of me just got taken out and there's nothing to replace it. And I don't know if that part of me will ever come back. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just learn how to carry it. There are days where it's harder than others. Sometimes it's random. Sometimes it's when I'm alone. Sometimes it's when something good happens and I realize he's not here to see it. That one hurts a lot. Because he was the first person I tell everything to. And now there's just that empty gap. But at the same time, I try to think about what he'd want. And I know he wouldn't want me just to sit around and be stuck here forever. He'd probably be annoyed at me for even being this serious right now. He'd tell me to get up, do something, and stop overthinking everything. And I think about that more than people would expect. And to be honest, I don't want to forget him, not even a little bit. And to be honest, I don't think I ever will. Because as much as this hurts, it also shows how much he meant to me. And I'd rather carry that than act like it didn't matter. And if you're watching this and you still have your people, your friends, your family, your best friends, don't take that for granted. Not at all. Text them, call them, send them something random, even if it's stupid. It doesn't matter. Because you never think something like this is gonna happen until it does. And when it does, everything changes. And you know, I wish I had more time. That's probably the biggest thing I wish I had, is just more time. But at the same time, I try not to only think about what I lost. I try to think about the fact that I even had him in my life in the first place. Because not everyone gets a friend like that. Someone who's just there for you no matter what. Someone who makes everything easier when not even trying to. And yeah, it still hurts, and you know, it probably always will. But when I think about all the memories, all the dumb moments, the late nights, the random conversations, the laughs, the pictures, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Even if it means going through this right now again. And you know, I think there's still a part of him that's with me in a way, like in a way how I act and how I think, the way I say stuff, and even the way I joke sometimes. And to be honest, I don't want to lose that either. So instead of trying to move on, I think I'm just going to learn how to move forward with it. You know, carry everything he was into everything I do. I think that's the closest thing to making sure he's still here. So yeah, I miss him every day, but I'm also grateful for every moment I got, and I can't give up because he went to heaven knowing I was going to succeed. But yeah, I didn't make this video to have some big message or anything. I just wanted to be real for a minute, because this is something I deal with every day. Even if I don't show it, I miss you, man. Every day. And I always will.